Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's check out Monster Hunter Rise running on the Steam Deck. That's right, I did say Steam Deck. Some caveats on running some of your games on the Steam Deck. Of course, not every game is compatible or rated as compatible, so we got to bear that in mind. Another thing is that if you have, let's back up a little bit. So I'm actually running the Steam Deck through a third-party deck, right? So this is a docking station that I actually use for my PC to output to multiple monitors. Thankfully, it is still compatible with the Steam Deck because it is just a generic USB-C docking station. So USB-C cable into the Steam Deck and there you go. It can be, the audio and video can be routed out through HDMI or whatever you have that from your docking station. The official Steam Deck docking station is not out yet, with no announcements on when it's coming out. So I have no idea when that's ever going to happen. I'll certainly update how this game will look on an official Steam Deck whenever that decides to come out. But for now, you can use third-party decks, and most of them will be compatible, as long as it's USB-C. Generally, you want to get something that's powered so that you're also powering your system as well. But of course, you can get one without any power and then just depend on the battery of the Steam Deck. Although, your mileage is going to vary because you're outputting out to HDMI. It's going to draw more power, etc. With that in mind, one of the things that is also something that you'll have to bear in mind with is that while you're using your Steam Deck that is hooked into a docking station, things like an on-screen keyboard won't show up. So when I was setting this game up to stream and making a new character, because unfortunately, if you have the Switch version of this game already, there's no way to transfer save files or share save files between the Steam version and the Switch version. So you'll have to start over again if you've already played this game on the Switch, and vice versa. But with that in mind, every time you need to use an on-screen keyboard, it won't necessarily render when you're using the docking station. So either you have to go and unplug your USB connection so that you can use your Steam Deck, or you have to plug in a mouse and keyboard, or just a keyboard into your docking station, so you have keyboard access. So there are definitely some quirks to running games with a docking station currently on the Steam Deck. So just bear that in mind. Some things just don't quite work. With that being said, let's take a look at the options that we have. Obviously, these are not going to be the same options that you have if you're running it on a full-fledged PC. So things that we would normally see here in the settings menu and the graphic settings, we're not going to see some of this. The maximum resolution that your Steam Deck can put out is 1280 by 800. That's going to be a 16:10 aspect ratio. I decided to set it at 1280 by 720. That does match the Switch version, but the display frequency can be, at 60 hertz, potentially. Right, there may be some problems with that because, I think my docking station can only do 4K 30, so we may only get 30 frames a second out of this. I have another docking station coming in. I think that's coming in tomorrow, and so we'll see if that changes the situation. And I'll let you know what docking station I'm using kind of at the end of tomorrow's play in the description. In case you're wondering what kind of setup I have, and if you want to use the same setup. Okay, so again, we have a frame rate cap, a VSync. Probably not going to turn VSync on because I do want it to run as high as it can, or at least up to 60 frames. If we look at here in the advanced graphic settings, you notice that all these are locked, or a good majority of them are locked. So we won't be able to change everything like we would a traditional PC game. Just a couple items here. The dynamic shadows, the equipment shadows, the process correction via model swapping, mesh quality. So, not everything available on the, the full-fledged PC platform. But, if you have a PC and you want to play this game portably, then you do have the option of taking that data with you, with some sacrifices in your graphics. As you notice here, compared to the Switch version, like some things are better and some things aren't. Like the shadows have a very strange way of rendering. We'll see it here when we get up close. But I think overall the visual quality is a bit better than the Switch. Now, of course, this is a new piece of hardware. The Switch is, 5 years, going on 6 years here. And even then, when the Switch came out, it was an older piece of technology. So, we would at least expect a new piece of technology to look better than the old piece. So, no surprises there. I do wish it looked kind of a little bit better, but it is what it is. I'm running at 720p, and it's being scaled up to a 4K 30 visual container. So, not going to translate very well as far as pure graphics are concerned. All right. That being said, I'm also using a Bluetooth controller, a third-party Bluetooth controller. This one is the 8BitO SN90 Plus or whatever the hell they're calling this thing. It's also compatible with any other Bluetooth controller, so your Switch controller, your PlayStation 4 controller, your Xbox One controller. I actually got all those to sync up pretty easily without a whole lot of additional effort on my part. So yeah, whatever controller layout you prefer, you can probably use it with your SteamDeck. Again, for Bluetooth. And even if you have a Bluetooth adapter, if you're running it through a docking station, in my case, this does also have a Bluetooth adapter. But I don't need it in this case, but if I wanted to use the Bluetooth adapter, I could through my extra USB port on my docking station. All right, so again, overall, a better looking game, although we do have a major problem with the aliasing. Obviously, there's some fine detail in here which is being lost. There's a lot more aliasing, it feels like, than there is in the Switch version, which is a super surprise to me. But let's go for it and see how this works. Again, I'm hoping my new docking station tomorrow will come in and get me at 60. Like here, you see this at 60 generally. But yeah, the actual in-game, that is reduced to 30. And again, maybe because of the docking station, I'm not 100% sure. Fail to take your means of protection seriously and you won't last long out in the field. You can imagine why. Improve your armor by upgrading it here at my smithy. Make sure to bring in the needed armor spheres with you. I'll start you off with a few just as a beginner's gift. Use them to upgrade your gear. Hey, and welcome back. How'd everything go with Master Uchishi's quest? I know. The basics are, well, basic, but you gotta have a sturdy foundation before you can build, right? Take Bunny Dango, for example. Yomugi puts as much effort into selecting ingredients as she does preparing them. Yeah. Anyway, I know you're here to talk Dango. You're here to talk about quests, and lucky for you, I got some one-star quests ready to go. Questing is kind of like climbing a mountain. Keep completing them, and before you know it, you'll be at the top. And just like a mountain, there's more than one way to the top. Pick the quest right for you and forge your own path. But you're gonna stay right here. And listen to me blabber about Bunny Dango if you don't hurry up and pick a quest. Oh, I should also mention another thing. Many games so far that I have tested do not work with an external controller. I mean, the Steam Deck is not meant to be a home console. It is meant to be played portable, so I sort of understand that, but like, I was surprised at the number of games that did not work with a external controller. Lots, unfortunately. So, I fired up Resident Evil Village and Doom Eternal, and yeah, you could certainly play that, but you do have to use the built-in controller on the Steam Deck. They just would not register external controllers, so... I'll show you what those look like. I need to get like a longer USB cable in order to get it over here to my TV. But at least show you what those look like, and you can kind of compare what we saw on the Switch versions, which were, converted, I think, pretty well, and then what it looks like on Steam Deck. Let's see. We got training quests, learning to ride. Well, let's just do the village quests. Roly-poly lanterns, unique mushrooms, jagras. That's right, I keep forgetting we have to do the kind of boring stuff first. Alright, fine. Let's just do this one.
Don't forget to eat.
What do we got? Oh, yeah, alright. There's some new added content available for your perusal. There are 2 ways to play multiplayer. Make use of the lobby, or send out a join request to have other players join your quests. I guess, I don't know. You guys don't need to see this, do you? We've talked about this before. What do we got for add-on content? Well, I guess I can look at that later. Let's have some Dongo Dongo. Again, it strangely has some pluses and minuses from the Switch version. Overall, it is, like, there's more fidelity for sure. The models look a little cleaner, and things like this, the static screens, those are cleaner. But then the shadows and the overall aliasing seem not as good. But we're still super early into it, so I don't want to make too many judgments. You know, this is my first impressions.
Listen up.
Okay, let's get some stuff. Free stuff is good. Let's go, Palamute. Oh, ouch, ouch, ouch. Oh, I guess I'm gonna change the buttons. Yeah, I'm gonna change the buttons. Boy, they did not translate these very well. Okay. These are not buttons I'm expecting I had to use.
Gonna need some of this. I'll be taking that.
Let's see. Can I change the buttons here? I might have to go all the way out to the menu to change them, because it's super weird how Capcom does their options. Controls. Yes. Key bindings. Control type 1. Obviously the keyboard settings in here. Okay. Let's see. Confirm. Where's my weapons? Okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to get used to this weirdness until I can figure out how to set these buttons the way I'm used to on the Switch. Heaven forbid they make that easy on me. I said generally the level of detail is higher in this version. So the draw distance is, things render at a much closer distance, or a much farther distance than they do on the Switch. Oh boy, man. Oh, getting used to these controls really sucks, let me tell you.
Gonna need some of this.
I may have to go back out and enable my Xbox controller. Because since this layout is represents the Switch or the Nintendo style controllers, your A and B and
Might as well put this to use.
Y and X are switched. But they literally switch them. Like, they're not just positions on the controller. So the X and Y are actually really are X and Y, not based on the position of the controller, but based on the label. So it makes it hard to sort of translate that and play a game of Monster Hunter when my muscle memory tells me the button that's to the very top is the button that should draw my weapon. But in this case, no, it's the button that is on the very left. It's super weird to play it this way. So I may switch controllers at the end of this mission because, well, I don't think I can handle this. I got too much into Monster Hunter to switch my controls all of a sudden. Even though I enjoy this controller. Yeah, come on. Oh, it's so hard to get used to.
Pay attention to your stamina.
Holy crap.
Taking that. Gonna need some of this.
I swear I'm better at this game. Boy, just when all your buttons are reversed, it makes it really tough.
Go. I'll just take this.
I really wish they could have figured out a way to share your save data between the Steam version and the Switch version, but alas, it couldn't. It was not meant to be. So we must start all the way over on the PC version, and consequently the SteamDeck version as well. Yeah, things do look nicer, mostly. Some things don't look as nice, but mostly better visuals. I'm still a little baffled by the decision to use a 16:10 aspect ratio. I'm gonna guess that it was just cheaper to use these screens with this aspect ratio.
I'll be taking that.
And sometimes, like when I first launched this game, the resolution came in super low. I mean, it was like at 640 before 80. And for some reason, I thought I had a 4x3 a 4:3 aspect ratio. So yeah, so you may have to mess around with the options a little bit in each game. You know, again, unfortunately, it's a lot of the stuff is sort of, you know, I mean, this game code is not specifically written for the Steam Deck, so you know, you may have to mess around with it a little bit in order to get some good visuals and good performance. Certainly not unlike having a regular PC game, although significantly different. You know, your options are more limited than if you had a PC game, you know, a native PC game. Knocked me on my ass. Well, that wasn't nice. Oh, it's so hard to deal with these buttons the way they are. I cannot tell you how hard it is for me right now. Good, I am not used to the English voices either.
Might as well put this to use.
Yep.
I'll be taking that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to switch controllers. Boy, having them map the literal buttons versus putting them in the right position is, I would say that was a great move. I'm sure there's a way I could change it in Steam itself to completely switch the buttons so that the functions match the direction and match like an Xbox controller. I think I could probably do that, but maybe it's just easier just to switch the controllers.
Time to head home.
Actually, let's see how that behaves. That'll be interesting. If I bring in another controller, if it knows how to deal with that. I also noticed that the Steam Deck didn't like my HDMI 2K port. It wanted to use my 4K port. So I think it needs at least the HDMI 1.4. If it's less than that, it doesn't seem like it works. At least with the dock I was using. Now, let me grab another controller. And now the million-dollar question. Will it use my controller that I just synced, or will it not use it and continue to use my controller that I synced when I first turned on the system? So that'll be interesting. Oh no. Oh boy, that could be trouble. Both these controllers sync to the same game. Got something for you. Yeah, let's see. Good to see you, Kamura. How's the hunting life treating you? There's something I'd like you to do, on top of your normal monster hunting duties, that is. If you ever hear of any villager having trouble, I want you to lend him an ear. If you can help, lend him a hand, too. I know it's all of a sudden and all, but don't worry, I got something nice and easy to get you used to it. I need you to bring me something. Think you can do that? Come back and see me when you're ready. Request types? Sure. You guys don't want to see me do that. Well done steak. Okay. I'll have to go make one out in the field. Let's store our stuff. Oh, I think I sent it right to the box, if I remember right. Yeah, so we can store that. That's... Got some raw meat and some rations. And I don't think we had to equip a spit anymore. Let's see. And did I do the Palico thing? I don't know. It's been a long time since I had to start all the way from the beginning. The wire bugs. I'm so used to just having a workflow where I'm going and sending my Palicos out and checking all checking all my equipment and going to get some mochi. So all this is a little different now, starting from square one. Okay. Let's hire some buddies. What kind of buddies we got here?
Yep. See you later.
Oh, I don't think I can do that yet.
Leave all your buddy needs to me.
Let's hire a buddy. How much money do I have? 1380? Yeah, I forget these guys are expensive. Okay, well maybe we'll hire a buddy next time.
Drop by anytime.
Let's do a couple missions first before we start throwing money at the buddy system.
How about this weather?
Okay, what we're doing? Eidazuchi.
Good luck.
I mean, that's significantly faster. It doesn't take anywhere near as long to load a mission, or to at least have the prompt come up. Again, I do expect this thing to run better than a Switch. It is significantly newer technology, and there is a lot more horsepower on the Steam Deck than a Switch. But oddly enough, the visuals are kind of comparable. It's like it's not like a completely different looking game versus the Switch version. But the LOD is higher, so that's cool. Like I said, the shadows are kind of hit and miss. I don't know if they're good or not.
This looks useful.
And as I said, I think the reason this is running at 30 hertz is because of the limitations of my dock. So again, tomorrow we'll get a better dock, hopefully, and maybe we can actually hit 60 frames. I don't know. It may not even be possible.
I'll be taking that.
I've been playing too much Elden Ring. Really forgot how this game plays.
Gonna need some of this. Might as well put this to use.
All right,
Move.
go find our targets.
I'll just take this.
Yeah, I think Sunbreak comes out next month. So I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, we'll play this one pretty heavily, so we can at least get some levels before Sunbreak comes out. Oop, using the wrong button now. Get over here, you little black. Good job. Yeah, they're so cute. But they gotta die.
Gonna need some of this.
Oh, sorry. Was that your friend?
Wonderful work, my friend. I'll be taking that. Gonna need some of this. Go!
Yeah, I should probably go after my objective, huh? It's just too easy to screw around in Monster Hunter and not do what you initially set out to do. Okay, it's kind of slowly coming back to me now. No, well, not exactly, huh? Damn it.
Might as well put this to use. I'll be taking that. Gonna need some of this. Move!
Okay, what are these other guys? Are they up top?
Pay attention to your stamina.
Did they regenerate or are they up top? They're probably up top, aren't they? I'm gonna try to remember how to get up there.
I'll be taking that. Gonna need some of this. Yeah!
Okay. There you are.
I'll be taking that. Gonna need some of this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Where are our other little
This looks useful.
wascally fellas?
I'll be taking that. Go!
Scented sprigs. Let's see, anything up there? No.
I'll just take this. I'll just take this. This looks useful. Let's see.
Are they down there?
Yeah. I'll just take this. Might as well put this to use. Gonna need some of this.
Okay, what, I got one more.
Move. I'll just take this.
Splashy.
All too easy. Might as well put this to use.
What are you guys fighting over there? Oh, one of these? Okay, sure.
I'll be taking that. Yeah.
Giddy up. I know, I thought we could find some more resources. Oh, well.
Buddy. Another great hunt.
Oh gosh, I might have to switch it back to Japanese. That's so weird. It's so weird hearing it. Okay, let me see. Oh, forgot to roast that meat. Oh well, whatever. I guess I'll get to it next time. Alright, and why don't we stop it there? This is Autopostrophe. You've been watching Monster Hunter Rise running on the Steam Deck. Yeah, I would say it is mostly a better version than the Switch version. Of course, that's to be expected. The Steam Deck is better hardware. There are some visual quirks to it, which I wasn't expecting. I didn't think the aliasing would be that strong. It's just a tiny bit better than the Switch, which didn't have any anti-aliasing at all. So some scenes look better than others. But yeah, little bit of shimmer here and there. A little surprise. Again, I think my deck is limiting the output. I don't know if we can actually hit 60 frames or if this is going to be locked at 30. That I'm not sure of, so I do have some different hardware coming in for that. I believe if you're playing natively on the Switch, on the Steam Deck, I think you can get 60 on that. But yeah, I obviously can't show you anything on the Steam Deck's native screen because I have no way to film that for you. So we're just going to try dock play, which is really where I play most of my games anyway. As far as the visual interface, this is basically desktop mode. That you're used to if you're using that on your Steam interface. So you're going to get all this stuff. That's going to look very familiar for those of you who are using Steam currently. For those of you who aren't using Steam currently, this may just seem like a wall of boxes everywhere. You do get used to it, so I think it's one of those things that once you get used to it, you can kind of see that it is pretty well laid out for the thousands and thousands of games that are available on the Steam Deck. I have some good impressions so far. I think it's okay. The Steam Deck itself is fairly comfortable, even though it's ridiculously large. The touch pads and the control sticks and I think probably the weakest thing is having the top buttons, the L1, R1. Those kind of don't feel very convenient, but the trigger buttons are fine. There's actually even buttons on the inside of the grip as well, so those I think work pretty well. Again, you may find yourself having to attach a keyboard if you're playing this docked. On-screen keyboards for whatever reason don't trigger when you're looking at the Steam Deck through docked play, so that's kind of unfortunate. I think it's maybe a bug that they'll fix. They've been updating the Steam Deck about every other week, so hopefully that's something they might address. Although again, it's not the use case that Valve wants. Valve wants you to use it as a portable system and not as a home console, because the home console is going to be your PC, and this is like a special way to take your PC games with you. It's got a lot of potential. Obviously, there's lots and lots of games. I mean, officially, really, this has the most games available of any of the systems. That's the Xbox, the PlayStation, the Switch. It's the most games. Now, the most compatible games, that'll be a different story. Obviously, there are some games that won't be compatible. Most games are, and they're kind of churning through games to see which ones are compatible or not compatible. So it'll probably take quite a while to get that list down. More than 1 year, certainly, to figure out which games work with the Steam Deck and which ones don't. But yeah, we'll play more tomorrow. I'll have a new deck, or I'll have a new docking station. Hopefully we can get 60 frames out of that. Because I know the game can run at 60, so it's not a limitation of the game itself or the game engine, but rather I think my HDMI output, I think it's what's stopping me. We'll see. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. We're going to play more Steam Deck. It is another console, technically, and I know people are curious about it, so yeah, we'll play more of what I own, and it may end up being, you know, a pretty healthy part of what I play here on the channel. We'll see if things work out well. We'll play more Steam Deck. If things don't work out well, you know, we'll play what we can. Like I said, it's not 100% compatibility with everything, and certainly using it in docked mode without the official dock is troublesome. You have to solve your own problems, but other than that, I think it's something worth checking out. Even though the reservation system on the thing is ridiculous, and getting one is much like getting any console nowadays. Good luck for the folks that are out there that did secure one or have put their money down on the next set of pre-orders, which I think happened in like November or October or something like that. Interesting piece of kit. Yeah, we'll play more with it as time goes on. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.